America's aircraft carriers are often called floating cities. Each one costs more than $13 billion, each one carries over 5,000 sailors, and each one represents American power anywhere on Earth. But today, a serious question is being asked inside Pentagon war rooms and military think tanks. Can China sink a U.S. Navy supercarrier? According to military analysts, China's entire strategy comes down to just 3 words: drones, missiles, submarines. Let's break this down in a simple, honest way. No hype, no propaganda, just reality. First, missiles. China has spent years developing long-range anti-ship missiles, including ballistic missiles that can travel thousands of kilometers. Some are even hypersonic, meaning they fly faster than 5 times the speed of sound. The media often calls them carrier killers. Sounds terrifying, right? But here's what most headlines don't explain. A missile cannot hit what it cannot see. An aircraft carrier is not a building. It's a moving target in the middle of the ocean, changing position every minute. To strike it, China would need a perfect chain of detection. Satellites in space, long-range radar, reconnaissance drones, real-time tracking, and then accurate guidance all the way to impact. If even one link in this chain fails, the missile misses. And even if a missile is launched, the carrier's not alone. It sails with an entire strike group destroyers, cruisers, electronic warfare ships, interceptor missiles, radar systems, and fighter jets in the air. This is called layered defense. Think of it like trying to hit a moving armored tank, while dozens of bodyguards are shooting the missile out of the sky. So, yes, missiles are dangerous, but they are not magic. Now, let's talk about submarines. This is where things get more serious. Submarines are quiet, they hide underwater, they don't show up easily on radar. China has been rapidly expanding its submarine fleet, both nuclear and diesel-powered. In a real conflict, submarines could stalk carrier groups silently for days or weeks, waiting for the right moment. A torpedo launched from close range is far harder to stop than a missile fired from land. This is one of the few threats U.S. Navy commanders genuinely respect. And now, the third piece. Drones. China is building large numbers of surveillance drones, attack drones, and even unmanned naval vessels. Why? Because drones are cheap. If one is destroyed, it doesn't matter, but if hundreds are launched together, they can overwhelm defenses. This is called saturation attack. The idea is not to destroy the carrier instantly. The idea is to exhaust its defenses, confuse its radar, drain its missiles, and create openings. Now here's the important part. Despite all of this, sinking a United States supercarrier is still extremely difficult. These ships are massive. They are divided into armored compartments. They are designed to survive fires, explosions, and flooding. In past wars, some carriers were hit multiple times and still did not sink. To destroy one today would require perfect intelligence, perfect coordination, multiple attack waves, missiles, submarines, and drones working together, and a lot of luck. So, why is China building all this? Because the real goal may not be to sink carriers. The real goal is something more strategic: fear. If United States commanders believe carriers are too risky to deploy near Taiwan or the South China Sea, then China wins without firing a shot. This strategy is called area denial. You don't destroy your enemy, you keep them away. It's like putting a sign on the ocean that says, "Enter here and pay the price." And this changes everything. For decades, United States carriers were untouchable symbols of dominance. Now for the first time, that dominance is being challenged by technology, not fleets. So what's the final truth? China cannot easily sink a United States carrier. But China can make operating one extremely dangerous. And in modern warfare, changing your enemy's decisions is often more powerful than destroying their weapons. This is not just a military story. It's a story about how technology is rewriting global power. And the Pacific Ocean is becoming the most important chessboard on Earth.